Hi, everyone. Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a bonus episode from Long Story Short, the podcast. I'm Megan.
I'm Wendy.
Today, we're going to discuss Baby It's Cold Inside, a standalone original Hallmark movie that must have been bumped from Winterfest or New Year, New Movies, because why else would we be getting an ice movie in May?
You think?
Since this is a bonus episode, that means we have a regular weekly episode every week. This week, we talked about our favorite snacks and junk food items. And look, if you're looking for something to have along with you for your next Hallmark movie watch, take a listen because we've got lots of great ideas.
So many.
You can also find more from us on Instagram at meganandwendy LSS. And you can hop into our private Facebook group, which is Long Story Shorties.
Email us, meganandwendy@gmail.com. We love your emails. We love to hear if you watch these movies, what you think of them. So don't be afraid. We won't shame you on our podcast. You can email us anytime.
Right. Now, this movie, Baby It's Cold Inside. Wendy, do you have a synopsis?
I do. About Baby It's Cold Inside. When a travel agent up for a promotion is directed to forego her tropical vacation to instead visit the world-famous ice hotel, she discovers her sacrifices are more than compensated. Compensated.
Goodness. All right, let's do news and notes.
Okay.
So, this movie was filmed in Quebec, Canada, at the Hotel des Glaces in January, which is North America's only ice hotel.
Wait, so it was filmed in January 2020? 2021. I'm stuck in some sort of like time vortex. Yes, 2021. So, yeah, it could have easily been one of like a New Year, New Movie, or what was the other one you said? Winterfest?
Well, whatever. Winterfest is the old name.
Right.
It's like the filming. I didn't find anything about filming being delayed because January is perhaps a bit late. They do a quick turnaround. Is it possible they could have filmed in early January and put it out at the end of the month? Yes, but that is a pretty tight turnaround even for Hallmark. I didn't find any information about why this movie was released when it was. If you have information about that, we'd love to hear it. Because it just felt odd.
Speaking of odd, I want to talk to you about this only ice hotel in North America. What's it called again? Hotel Glace?
Yeah, Hotel des Glaces would be my guess.
Oh, okay. The only ice hotel in North America. I mean, there's got to be a reason for that, right? Here's mine. Because who wants to go to an ice hotel?
So what I was reading some more information about this particular hotel, and they had said, obviously it's very cold inside. The lead actor in this movie, whose name is Steve Lund, said, "It was the coldest I've ever been to my core. He had to wear electric socks and undergarments and run somewhere for extra warmth between takes." This was also used in a previous Hallmark movie, Winter Castle, which was a 2019 movie. And there are no toilets in the hotel room. There's a spa with heated restrooms. So it says guests are encouraged to plan their bathroom outings so they don't have to use the restroom in the middle of the night. You guys, that stresses me out. Like, sometimes I have to pee in the middle of the night, whether I've planned well or not.
Okay, well, I am confused because I thought I read that they rebuild this structure every year.
Correct.
And it's only open for like a certain number of the coldest months, right?
Correct.
So, of course, there's not going to be indoor plumbing. But isn't there like there's a spa in the ice hotel?
They have to, they have a bar, so they have to have some sort of plumbing access, whether that's from, it's not underground pipes, obviously. Even the glasses in the bar are made out of ice.
Look, a couple of weeks ago, you had mentioned here on the podcast that you have a fear of ice hotels. Like, you would not stay at one, right? No. So, and I thought that was kind of funny. But now that I was reading on this stuff yesterday and hearing that you can't pee in the middle of the night because there is no toilet, I would never stay in an ice hotel. Never.
I wouldn't either. It doesn't sound fun. There's no part of the adventure that I would enjoy. I have to imagine that people, it's not like they go and stay for a week, right? You're going and staying for a night just to say you've done it, and then you go somewhere that has heat and indoor plumbing.
Well, Steve Lund was certainly not selling it in his interview that he did, how he was like, it was cold to the bone and you have to wear electric socks, which I didn't even know were a thing.
Agree. No. I think that's all I have in news and notes. It stars Jocelyn Hudon and Steve Lund as Hannah and Ben. Steve Lund, his most notable role that stood out to me is he played Jake on Schitt's Creek for 4 years. I have not seen most of that show, so I don't know who that is. I mean, I know the show, but I don't know who that character is, but that was his biggest standout role. But they both have pretty extensive acting histories.
I know Schitt's Creek.
No, I know, but the vast majority of what they've been in
is stuff that I would never watch.
Probably.
Okay. All right. Let's move on, because...
What was your first impression of this movie, Wendy? Even though I already know.
Hated it so much. So I forgot to record it the night that it premiered. So I flipped on Hallmark Channel the next day and it was playing. So I was 15 minutes late and I was like, I'll start. What am I going to miss in 15 minutes, right? I will tell you that I did go back and watched the first 15 minutes on the Friendly app. So I have a, yeah, thank you. But disclosure, I did not finish this movie after 45 minutes. I tapped out.
Wendy has placed the burden of reviewing this movie squarely into my lap. I had to finish this movie because one of us had to.
I have notes and I have a lot to say about it, especially one part, but let me guess. She gets a job at the Ice Hotel doing, I don't know, whatever, hotel management because she wanted to do that. But she was a klutz and got fired from her other job. Whatever. She gets a job. Am I right?
Okay, well, let's finish this segment, which is first impressions, because I would like to say my piece since I had to watch all 2 hours.
Go ahead.
My impression is something just felt off about this movie. I don't know if it was the lack of chemistry, the fact that this is an ice hotel in May, and I can't really wrap my head around this being a new movie. I had relatively little interest in either of the main characters' lives. Mm-hmm. I really didn't care about Phoebe and Sean's rekindled relationship. I just didn't care.
Good. I thought you were going to say opposite, and I was like, look, we're quitting. We're quitting this Hallmark podcast if you said you were going to like this movie.
One of our friends sent us a message, and she was like, I loved this movie. This was a 3.25 stars for me. And
no way.
Michelle, we still like you, but I went into it with high hopes. Wendy had told me she hated it. Michelle said she loved it. I'm thinking, okay, this movie is redeemable. I'm sorry to say that it was not for me.
Well, so you have to throw my opinions out the window because I hate everything for the most part. Also, I had low expectations for this movie because standalone movies are a red flag to me. Right. They say, this isn't good enough to put into a promoted lineup. We're going to bury it here somewhere on the schedule and hopefully people don't watch it.
And this movie has the disadvantage, I'll say it again, this icy ice hotel movie screams leftover.
Right. And another low expectation. I do not want to watch a wintry themed movie in mid-spring. I need summer. I need flowers. I need warm days, something. I'm beyond parkas and seeing somebody's cold breath. Over it.
I 100% agree. In spite of the fact that I prefer winter to summer, summer does not excite me. I am excited for summer movies. I like the idea of summer. I don't like being out in the actual summer, but I love the idea of it and like the feeling, the warmth on your skin and pretty cute summer dresses and ice cold drinks and tropical locations. I like all of that in my mind. And that's what I want to watch right now. I want to watch you on an island. I want to watch you at a lake, on a boat. Let's get there. Let's have a grill. Okay?
Show me the grill. Oh my God. So funny.
Now, did you like anything about this movie?
Zero things. I hated like the stupid twinkly lights and the like. It looked like Elsa's castle. You know, that's what I felt like I was watching, a real life Disney movie, Elsa's castle. Like they had those like carvings on the wall or whatever nonsense. I mean, that would be kind of cool in person, I guess, to see, but not inside an ice castle. I'm not staying there. Like that's like looking at a sand castle. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that looks cool, but it would be neat to see. But no, I hated everything about it. Sorry. Everything.
Did you see the glass blowing? Probably not. That's too late in the movie.
It was on, I don't care. There's a local like craft fair that happens here every summer that they do glass blowing. I've seen it in person. I don't care about watching it.
I would recommend the Netflix show Blown Away, which I'm a big fan of. And so I enjoyed that little bit of glass blowing. I find it fascinating. So I liked that little glass blowing montage. I thought Hannah was real cute.
I thought she was super boring. And I actually thought she was the girl who played Fit for a Prince. You know, the one that made the dresses or whatever.
Oh.
I thought that was her, but it's not. But the other girl that worked at the ice hotel, was she in Fit for a Prince? Was she one of the stepsisters?
Don't know. And don't even care enough to look it up.
Exactly.
Okay. I think Wendy in this category, I think you are just wishing for those 45 minutes of your life back.
Sure.
Is there anything else you wished for?
No, I want to watch a better movie. If I'm going to invest an hour and 45 minutes, that's like the time without commercials. I want it to be at least entertaining and good. I'm just so tired of like the same format, the same thing. Girl gets a promotion. Oh, she might lose her job. I'm not made for Hallmark.
I hear you. Well, in terms of what I wished for, I think that we've seen movies like As Luck Would Have It and Mix Up in the Mediterranean, where the location furthers our enjoyment, contributes to our enjoyment of the movie.
Sure.
But they were not relying on those locations to carry the movie. There were other factors that were enjoyable. And I wish they hadn't put so much weight on this ice hotel to carry the entire movie, because it is a frozen box and it cannot make me interested in this movie, unfortunately.
I have a question for you. So this was the same hotel. It was featured in Winter's Castle from 2019. Do you remember that movie? Did you ever watch that movie?
I did watch that movie.
Did they have a similar storyline?
Honestly, it was not so ice hotel focused. I think there was a wedding happening there. I don't honestly remember. This movie was about the ice hotel. This was like a promotional movie about ice hotels and the ice hotel and owning an ice hotel. And no, that movie, the ice hotel, was the backdrop, but not the plot.
Got it.
Okay, are you ready for Did You See That? Because
I have a whole bunch of them. I have a whole bunch of my 45 minutes that I watched. All right. First of all, if I can start.
Please.
So what's his name? His name is Ben, right?
Correct.
He's showing Hannah like the rooms. First of all, he's like, oh, your bed, blah, blah, blah. It's made of ice. And then he says like, but you'll have a super like warm sleeping bag. Nobody wants to sleep on a block of ice. Like, for real? That's awful. And then she's like, oh, the fireplace is so cozy. And I was like, the fireplace is likely melting the roof above your head. So like that, I would be nervous all night long. No, that's right.
Yes. There's a scene later in the movie toward the end where the other hotel worker woman.
Yeah.
She plays a key role in the movie actually later, and I can't think of her name. But she goes into the room with Hannah, and Hannah's about to adjust the fire, and she's like, oh no, we don't let guests touch it because it could release too much heat into the room, and then that would cause the ice to begin to melt. And I'm thinking, this is way too stressful. Thinking about balancing the level of heat that this is giving off so that it warms the room, but not enough to melt the ice. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Agree. Okay, what about you? Did you see that? I still have lots more, so.
Well, let's stick with the bed because she wakes up and she's completely surrounded by candles.
Yeah. How is that not emitting some sort of warmth?
That's not my concern. She's literally on a bed surrounded by candles. You're not going to like accidentally roll over into the candles and light your cozy sleeping bag on fire. Your hair is not going to flip and you're going to have no. We don't put candles on our bed. Can we agree not to put candles on our bed, even if it is made of ice?
Is it supposed to be romantic, or was that the light that she had in the room? Because I am guessing the ISO hotel doesn't have electricity.
Sure. They could have provided light with a candle that was not directly on her sleeping surface.
I mean, it is very dangerous to have a lit candle.
On your bed?
Yeah. On your bed, in your bedroom. Yes, totally.
I mean, in your bedroom is one thing. On your bed? No, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, I want to know, did you notice that the badge of the worker woman, since we don't know her name, you know, it's like she's wearing like a jacket from the hotel, and it's just called Ice Hotel. Ice Hotel. It doesn't have a name, just Ice Hotel. I'm like, could the props department come up with something better than that?
Make a patch.
Something. Geez, so dumb. Okay, another thing, this is about the hotel specifically. Ben and Hannah are like walking through the hallways. Did you notice that each room is only partitioned off by a hanging curtain?
Yes, and in fact, that is how it is in the hotel. They said the hotel is quite secure, but there is only a curtain in your doorway.
Nope. Totally. Well, first of all, I'm not even like that feels very unsafe for me. Like, I don't like that at all. But what if sounds from other rooms? It's a hotel partitioned with curtains. It felt like a dressing room. Like, no. I mean, obviously you can't build doors out of ice. I see the problem here, but curtains? No.
This feels more like camping than a luxury hotel experience.
Well, there's glamping that's more luxurious than this hotel, in my opinion. Okay, go ahead.
When her mom FaceTimes her from their cruise, the horrible green screen tropical scene behind her. Yep. There's a little steel drum playing. She's holding a fruity drink. That was so bad. So everything about the staging of that was embarrassing.
I agree. Back to the top of the movie, and I have this as a later note because I went back and watched it. But did I hear correctly that Hannah's boss asks her to forego her planned vacation to check out the new ice hotel instead? Like, wouldn't that be like a review trip paid for by the company? She's not foregoing like her vacation days to go look at this hotel. And then a promotion hinges on it. It's such stupidity, whoever wrote this movie. I hate it!
You heard that correctly, and that is one of my notes as well. She has a planned vacation with her family, so you assume that she has requested this week off. She's going on a cruise with her family and a friend's family as well. And her boss goes, actually, we need you to take this other trip. Excuse me? And she just goes, oh, okay. I mean, like, she pushes back the briefest moment, but then she just goes on the trip as if it's no big deal that she's had to, as you said, forego her planned vacation for a work trip. What about the money that she has lost on that vacation?
Seriously.
Right.
So dumb. And then she's like, well, I didn't want to tell you, but you could be up for the manager position for wintry vacations. I would be like, GTFO, I'm going on my vacation. And then we will, work on that when I get back. No.
Yeah, the ice hotel will hopefully not have melted in the next week.
Exactly. Okay. Well, I get if there's some urgency that the hotel is only open between certain dates and they need her to go right away, but these are...
But they've only just figured that out. You need to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's no other advanced planning in this. They've just...
Exactly.
Oh, we're going to open this icy vacations and we got to get there before the ice melts. I mean, send someone else, lady.
Yeah, seriously.
I rolled very hard at Phoebe's comment when she decides to come to the ice hotel with Hannah and she goes, what am I thinking? I'm a fitness instructor. I can't go to the all-you-can-eat buffet on the cruise ship.
Yeah. GTFO again.
Yeah. Live a little.
I'm a fitness instructor. I certainly need to deprive myself of yummy things because I have an image. God, shut up.
I know. She's holding the candy and she's like, what am I doing? I can't have this. Barf.
Yeah. A man wrote this. Absolutely. A man wrote this, right? I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to look it up. Okay. I have a page and a half of notes about the Nordic dessert. Do you want me to go forward
Let's
with
go
that?
for it, because I have no thoughts on the Nordic dessert. Wendy, give the backstory on why you noticed the Nordic dessert, please.
Okay. My husband's family is Danish, and we have a lot of Danish desserts, which are under an umbrella of Scandinavian desserts, which then would fall with Norway under a Nordic dessert. Anyway.
Pause.
Okay. Go ahead.
Are they supposed to be in Norway? Did they ever say that? They mentioned, Nordic desserts.
They definitely say Nordic, but I don't know if they're supposed to be in Norway or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, so there's this other guy there, right? I don't know what his name is, but he's a hotel reviewer, I'm guessing. And
yeah.
Right. Okay. And Ben has promised him a traditional Nordic dessert. And so they arrange for a kranse cake, which is let me explain it. A kranse cake translates to a wreath cake, a tall tower of delicate cookie rings. They take this cake out of the back of the van and set it on the table. It's straight up a stack of pancakes.
Pancakes, yes.
And then she knocks it down, and I was like, it's definitely pancakes because they're pancakes. They're
Floppy.
shaped like, they're not a round, delicate cookie ring. And I know this cake. It was at my wedding. So we've had this cake many, many times. Christmas, Easter. It's like, I know what this cake is. Okay. So then Hannah says, I can make Abelskivers, which it's a hard word to say, and I may be saying it wrong, but essentially these are round pancakes, like a ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
It requires a special pan. Like, you just don't make these. Like, you have to have.
She uses a cake pop pan.
She uses a cake. First of all, they're not baked. They're like, I'm going to call them fried, but they're like, they're made in a special round pan. And you guys, you know what? I'm going to put a picture on our show notes because I have one here at my house. Of course I do.
meganandwendy.com/podcast.
Yes. Anyway, you can't make these in a cake pan or a cake pop pan. Like, that was so stupid. Like, I actually rewound it and showed my husband and he laughed at it. My final note. Abelskivers. See, I call them Abelskivers. Abelskivers. I'm not Danish, but when they present it to him, they roll it out in this like tall tower, which looks like the classic French dessert known as a croquembouche. Exactly. And I was like, that's not how you eat Abelskivers. You know what I mean? They come in like whenever we make them or buy them from somewhere, they come in like a little 3 and you put powdered sugar on them and you eat them with like raspberry jelly or whatever. That's how they're presented. You do not put them in this Christmas tree croquembouche tower. I was so pissed. And that's what I got to say about Nordic desserts.
I appreciate the deep dive. I obviously did not have the same attachment, but I did bump on the croquembouche styling because I have watched many a food competition in which a croquembouche has been made.
Right.
They are quite complicated, and I found it hard to believe that this was intended to look the same way. And if I am saying that incorrectly, I apologize.
Right. I apologize too. Please don't send your emails saying that I'm saying things wrong. But when she like rolls up and then hits the cake with her skis or whatever it was, those were straight up pancakes.
I agree.
Pancakes. Oh my God.
All right. So this is a scene that you wouldn't have noticed, but Ben says to worker woman at one point, I wish Hannah would believe in herself. She had an unfortunate incident in her previous hotel job, and she doesn't have the confidence to get another job doing that. Well, worker woman is a big fan of Ben. She wants to be with Ben. She says, I'd follow you anywhere because he's opening this new hotel. She tries to invite him to dinner. He doesn't go because he has plans with Hannah. She's very unsubtly throwing herself at him. I do not ever like these like scorned woman storylines that we get often in these Hallmark movies. It's always their coworker. It's not necessary. She then finds out that Ben's going to offer her a job, or has offered her a job, and she is going to take it. And then worker woman goes in and she's going to cut the knees right out from under her. And the first thing she does, you did not see this, is she Googles New York hotel incident.
Okay. Was it the top? Was
the
it
number one hit?
Yeah, SEO must be great.
Flood, and directly next to it is a cringing photo of Hannah.
So stupid. Okay.
Now, if you were to Google New York hotel incident now, it's all about the number one hit is about some. I did not click on any of them. I was just curious. It's like there were some racial insensitivity issues. Let me tell you, a flood in a hotel, unless it wipes out the entire hotel, is not going to rank on New York hotel incidents. I can guarantee you.
Sinks the Manhattan Island.
Correct. Unless it's at the plaza and Eloise herself is floated out. Okay? So then she goes into Hannah's room and she's like, it requires an intense amount of focus to run an ice hotel. And then, of course, Hannah tells Ben that she can't take the job. She says, I'm just more of a tropical kind of lady. She leaves. She goes home. She gets offered the promotion. There's this other bit with like the hotel reviewer brings her the blown glass ice hotel. And she's like, I gotta go back to Ben. Ugh. She goes back to Ben. Worker woman at that moment is having a conversation. And she's like, I think I should stay here in this hotel. I'll go if you need me to. But I think you should go get Hannah and take her with you. Like she's atoning for her issues. Fine. Ben and Hannah get together, don't really care.
Shocker.
Hannah is now going to work in this ice hotel with him. Why they have to now work together so they can be together, I don't fully understand.
The ISO hotel is only open 3 months a year, right? Well, I guess that's not technically like said on the movie, so...
Yeah, they have to rebuild it. I mean, I can't imagine it's cold enough in the summer months, even in these northern locales, to keep it frozen.
Even in the North Pole, wherever this hotel's at.
But I would imagine that since it has to be rebuilt and redesigned every year, that there's a fair amount of work beyond when it's open. I will grant them that it could, in theory, be a full-time job, especially if they're going to have 2 locations. But, look, I don't like that he is her job savior.
Right.
I don't like it.
And now he's her boss and her boyfriend. Yeah.
Did you see the ice carving incident?
No.
So he's going to carve some ice so they can have it on display because it's an ice hotel. So they're going to have like a carved ice display. And she's like, why don't you make a seashell? Ugh. So he's showing her. He's like, well, you just want to sketch on the ice the outline of what you're going to draw. She sketches the jankiest seashell I've ever seen in my life. There's no way that anybody carving a seashell could follow that sketch. And then the next scene, they wheel out this like beautifully carved open clamshell. By the way, if you didn't see the movie, you don't know that she says, I think our ice hotel should be tropical themed.
God, she's a moron. I'm telling you, a dude wrote this. I'm going to look it up.
No, it's not. I just looked it up. It's written by a woman.
Oh, God.
But
she hates women. Okay, go ahead.
People are not coming to your ice hotel for tropical scenes.
I mean, that would be I'm out of words. You know, like when you go to the Madonna Inn, right? Like you're there for like a themed experience, or if you take a trip to the Christmas hotel, wherever that's at, that is a themed experience. You're not going to go to an ice hotel for a tropical experience. It is not happening.
Hey, Hannah, the beauty of working at an ice hotel is that summer is not your high season, so you can take your hot tropical vacations all summer long, lady.
Hey, Hannah, pull your head out of your ass. Sorry, I hated this movie. Can you tell?
Anything else?
0 things.
Should I even ask what you rated this movie?
I'm going to give it a 0. I mean, I didn't even watch the whole thing. Like,
I gave it 1.5.
Wow. So bad. It was so bad. I want to know from our listeners who did watch this movie, aside from Michelle, what did you guys think of it? Was it terrible? Like, I think it was.
Yeah, how did this rank? Were you able to put yourself in like a winter moment and enjoy it? Because, Hallmark does Christmas in July. They re-air a lot of their better Christmas movies in July. And I can, kind of get into that in the moment. I just could not get into that right now.
I mean, where's the Mother's Day themed movie?
Right?
What a missed opportunity. All right. I got enough said. What's up for next week?
Next week is Sweet Carolina featuring Lacey Chabert and...
Get ready, Heinies.
Tyler Hines.
His hair is just so weird to me. I already saw a preview for it. What is happening there?
I wasn't noticing his hair.
Somebody please talk to me about his hair. Please. Looks like Dracula.
Oh no, he has a pretty pronounced widow's peak, I will agree.
I love him.
As a reminder,
so
your ratings and reviews are always hugely appreciated. It takes about 1 minute. You can visit meganandwendy.com/Apple Podcast to leave a review. It is hugely appreciated and hugely helpful to us as podcasters. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.